So we're here with Jeff. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about transformative learning. And basically what it is one of the defining conditions of being human is an understanding of meaning, taking understanding and getting meaning from our experiences. And there's four things that I really want to talk about here at the beginning in regards to transformative learning. The first one is consciousness raising. So it's critical that we know the world that we're living in. We can analyze that. We can pose questions and take actions on social, political, and cultural and economic issues that we have that we're dealing with everything else. And you can also apply these to your work setting and everything else. We work with the military. It has different nuances as opposed to working with the sports team and everything else. Critical reflection. So how are you feeling? How are you processing these things, and how can that go to answering those questions and making the situation better? Development, coming up with a strategy to do those, and individualization. So we could have a dialogue, but we're probably going to come to different conclusions with anything. Do you have any questions or anything about that, or any comments with those? No? All right. So we're going to, with consciousness raising, has there ever been a time in your life where you sort of had to assess the situation, look back on it, and everything else with that?
I would say in my last job that I had as an athletic trainer, as an intern, I had to learn to work with different types of personalities that I hadn't worked with before in the past. And so that was kind of difficult at first, and it forced me to, look at what I'm doing, what, maybe what I could do differently to help influence these relationships in a positive way. And that was, it took a lot of, looking back and reflecting almost on, hey, this is what I've done, this is what has worked, hasn't worked, what are some things that I could do to increase the effectiveness of our relationships.
Cool. Now with that critical reflection, after you sort of looked into to those things, did you go ask advice from anybody else, or?
Yeah, I talked with a couple different coworkers, people who had been different places in different job settings and worked with different types of people in the past, and tried to gain knowledge from them on what they did to improve their setting or improve their situations, or how they handle different people and different personalities, and so it helped out quite a bit.
Cool. Now, when you were developing a plan to how to deal with the different personalities, what did you take into consideration?
I try to take into consideration the situations that would be involved in, why I was talking to them or having to, work with them, what I was trying to get out of it, maybe what they would try to be getting out of it, and, maybe because I was dealing with people, their thoughts and their feelings and their attitudes at that point in time in their life as well, to try to have a better understanding of them.
Now with individualization, so you just come up with a plan for you, with anything else with that one, or I know it's in the word, it's individual for me with anything else, but you sort of took that team approach to figuring it out with everything. Let's see if I can reword that one, get that look.
Kind of confused.
Yeah, it's all right. So you took those first three into consideration: the consciousness raising, critical reflection, development, and come up with an individual plan suited for yourself to deal with those people, or not with those people, with those personality types.
Right. I think, for me, there's, who I am as an individual. There's things that I'm good at, things that I'm not good at, things that I probably should be better at, and I tried to develop a plan that would, not only highlight my strengths and allow me to use my strengths and show those, but also at the same time you know, allowed me to kind of work on areas that I wasn't as good at, and try to make those better, and try to use the experience to not only improve the relationship with a difficult personality, but also to make it so that I could learn from it for the future and use it in the future. So.
Now, I know that you work with a GA now. Going through that whole process, do you feel like you're a little more adept as far as that leadership position of sort of noticing and helping someone go through those steps?
Yeah, I think so. You know, being a leader is something that I think there's a lot of trial and error in. And it's something that takes some practice at to be good at. And so, you know, this being another opportunity to be a leader, like, has benefited from the mistakes and the good things that I've done in the past. So, you know, just working with her and helping her along and to develop, you know, her ability to function in our career field has been a good experience. So.
Last question: if you were going to, you know, give her advice, and we have these 4 things: conscious raising, critical reflection, development, and individualization. What would you tell her would probably be the most important?
I'd probably say what was the second one?
Critical reflection.
Critical reflection would be probably the most important, because, you know, being able to identify, you know, a problem or, you know, something that you've done well, I think comes naturally to us. But being able to look at it critically is important, because if say it's something that I did that was wrong, I can very easily come down pretty hard on myself and be like, man, I should have known better. When in fact, you know, maybe I just didn't know. Or, you know, you looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, and you can sit there and beat yourself up. But at the same time, like, you know, I can, you know, being able to look at things, you know, objectively and take that emotion out of there is pretty difficult to do. So I would say that, you know, learning how to do that, learning to do it effectively would be probably the most important, so you can learn from the mistake that you made, or the, you know, the good experience as well. So.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Football.
Yeah, there you go. Thank